The reason these lessons have not been known is because the Muslims of India, Egypt, and Palestine had these secrets and kept them back from the outside world. And when the time appointed by Allah, they loosened the keys and freed the secrets. And for the first time in ages have these secrets been delivered in the hands of the Muslims of America. All authority and rights of publishing of this pamphlet of 1927, brothers and sisters. Someone from the outside world would have to go into India, Egypt, and Palestine. And this happened in what year, brothers and sisters? 1887. The High German, the book, the translation of the old dusty book. The man's name was Nicholas Noltavich. He gave an account explaining how he went into the Buddhist monk's temple and ended up finding out that there was the lost years of Jesus in 1887. So while Noble Drew Ali was just born, within the first year of him being born, brothers and sisters, while he's just goggling around, there's a man walking into the temple about to get the lost years of Jesus, brothers and sisters. And that was 1887. By 1916, there was the 4th edition brought out, but there could be 1 million editions. The problem was it wasn't put into the hands of the Muslims. And he specifically says, the Buddhist monk said, I have ancient transcripts. So, of course, Noble Drew Ali didn't make it because it's the truth of Allah brought through the prophets. It was his mission to get it into the hands of the Muslims in America, brothers and sisters. That was the mission. It could have been next door in a bookstore, but Noble Drew Ali's a Moor. So you know he's not just going to take the flawed, watered-down transcriptions or transcripts. So he had the old High German book of Nicholas Noltavich. So when I go through the document, immediately I see there was a woman that wanted to ask Jesus a question, and a man pushed her out the way to ask Jesus a question. At this point, an aged woman who had approached the group that she might better hear Isa was pushed aside by one of the men in disguise who placed himself before her. Isa then said, it is not meet that a son should push aside his mother to occupy the first place which should be hers. Whosoever respecteth not his mother, the most sacred being next to Allah, is unworthy the name of son. Listen therefore to what I am about to say. Respect woman, for she is the mother of the universe, and all the truth of divine creation dwells within her, brothers and sisters, and that's humanity. Islam, the Noble Drew Ali. She is the basis of all that is good and beautiful, and she is also the germ of life and death. On her depends the entire existence of man, for she is his mental, for she is his moral and natural support in all his works. She gives you birth, and amid sufferings by the sweat of her own brow, she watches over your growth. Until her death, you cause her the most intense anguish. Bless her and adore her, for she is your only friend and support upon earth. Respect her, protect her. In doing this, you will win her love in her heart, and you will be pleasing to Allah. For this shall many of your sins be remitted. Therefore, love your wives and respect them, for tomorrow they shall be mothers and later grandmothers of a whole nation. You hear that? Of a whole nation. So we're going through this, brothers and sisters. So this cuts away all the Levi Dowling stuff, him trying to be some mystic that had Akashic records. No, this is ancient manuscripts that came from the prophets of Allah. So Levi Dowling didn't really lie, because they did come from the Akashic records, but his reputation is tarnished because he didn't give the source of it. He tried to be the mystic head. And Noble Drew Ali put it in the hands of the Muslims. That was his mission, not to be the first or whatever. But like I said, you see where it says God, that's where it said Allah originally. So this is the watered down, but some of it is very potent. It has the ethers of truth. I know what it smells. I know what truth smells, feels, tastes like. I know what it is. And this definitely has it in it. But Noble Drew Ali had the most potent parts that needed to be put, because again, this was released in 1887. That's when that man went to them Buddhist monks. So this was a direct divine plan from Allah, and this is direct proof. 87, and then for exactly 40 years. 1927 is when he put this in the hands of the Muslim. So exactly 40 years. He was meant to do this. Islam, brothers and sisters. But why did he focus on Jesus? Because when he came to his people and tried to speak to them spiritual, that's all they had to say is Jesus, 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 Jesus. So he said, let me see this book you got. When he looks at the book, I know you love this Jesus, but you only have a few statements of him buried in the avalanche of other people's writings. You only have a few years of his life. So if you say you love this Jesus, he's our bloodline anyway and a prophet of the truth. So I'm going to go get his stuff. But you said you loved him. So I'm going to go get all of his stuff, which I know aligns with what I'm trying to get you aligned with. So if you love him, then you're going to study this truth. So you want to love Jesus? All right, I'm going to show you who Jesus is. And it was exactly who he was trying to get him to be anyway. It aligns because he's a prophet of the bloodline. It's all universal. So he went and got the stuff for him and brought it back and then directly told him, now you said you love Jesus, so here's all his stuff, so study it. And then they just showed. They think that they go to church, whoever has the biggest hat has the biggest love for Jesus. So that's why all of them fell off, because they really didn't love Jesus and they didn't love the truth. But to the few, honors to all of you.